All right, so a lot on my mind, lots going on, and I believe these last couple of weeks, and especially this last week, has incorporated I don't know if any of you have ever been preparing for an event, and whether it's a speech, whether it's an athletic event, or with some major event that you've prepared and you realize that everything you've done up to this point has prepared you for this moment, and at the end of the day or the end of the event you want to perform, you want to succeed, but it's not always up to you, and if you've done everything you can do, you got to let the rest go. Otherwise, the worry and the concern is going to interfere with your performance and your life and your happiness. So what am I speaking to? I'm bringing it back to what's going on right now, the now official pandemic. So WHO, World Health Organization, is now a pandemic. That was no Nostradamus thing to predict that, but here we are. You know, I know we live in a country in the USA that is led by a clown, payaso, it's almost surreal. If it weren't, it would be comical if it weren't so serious. And I don't want this to be heavy, but I also have to be serious because this is a serious topic. But I want to bring some light to it as well, and what I'm doing, why I'm here at the park, why I'm barefoot and grounding in my day, why did I dip my feet in the ocean today and take my cold shower, make sure I got ample sleep. These are things that people in the chronic illness community will relate to as doing regardless, because we go through flu season every year, and some are more concerned than others. Me, as you guys have heard repeated over and over, has felt the wrath of the flu to the extent that I understand how it kills people. And this is when I was younger. Each day, I'm older than I was yesterday. How about that? You probably as well. And that means I'm 45 in a week, and I'm not in the young zone anymore. I'm sort of in this middle zone. And a lot of us have heard, don't worry about it. It's only old people or those compromised. Well, I want to speak to us. Guess what? That's language of us being expendable. Like, I don't need to worry. I would love to change the language, and I don't think I'm going to, because those who are watching this are going to watch because they are people that are in my community already. But maybe it will echo what you're thinking, is that why don't we feel great in our communities about trying to reach out and concern ourselves with those who are compromised, that have kidney disease. I'm going to give my conditions that put me in risk. Underlying heart condition, atrial fibrillation. Not a major crazy arrhythmia, but when I have my atrial fib, it's bad news. And when I've been sick, my arrhythmias seem to come out more. And also, I have chronic kidney disease. That is one of the predisposed. Now, somebody who's in end-stage renal failure, that's who we need to think about. Don't think about me. Think about me as somebody who's compromised, who doesn't have access to, we're gonna go right into another topic. Think about the homeless population. I'm fancy homeless. Not meaning I've chosen this lifestyle. I have no money in my bank and everything, but I have a car so I can sleep in, versus those who are on the streets. We share the same bathrooms, me and those people on the streets. I'm gonna show videos of these places, and you're gonna begin to understand why this is a nexus or a ground zero for the spread of this disease. You think it's not a luxury to be able to wash your hands with proper soap for 20 seconds to 30 seconds? It's great when you live in your palatial apartment in New York City. You got your dogs, you got your sink with hot water, your soap, you can order in from Amazon. That takes money, that takes having the place. Guess what? I don't have access to that. I got to sprinkle some water on my hands, get lucky to go to a public faucet that's used by tons and tons of people that are on the streets, and use the little bit of Dr. Bronner's I got that I'm parceling out. So, and I'm putting on my mask now because when I'm going in those spaces, I'm protecting myself. But people aren't thinking of that. Do you think maybe going out to your neighborhood and handing out downtown, or trying to bring and buy some supplies instead of hoarding them and maybe giving to the homeless, the people that are out there, and seeing if you can set up hand washing stations? Novel idea for the novel coronavirus, I would think. But, you know, or let's parcel out supplies like Clorox wipes and things of that nature to put out and instruct people who are on the streets who aren't able to be as lucky as me and have a smartphone that's on somebody else's family plan, that I get data usage and I have my Obama backup phones and I can check into the news and find out what's going on. My other friends out here, they have no idea. I broke the news to them. They're like, oh, I didn't know. They're touching their face, they're doing everything. And so I'm trying to open minds to the other world that's out here. And these people, you might be like, well, that's not me, I don't need to worry. Well, even if it's on a selfish scale, these people are going to be at your coffee shop, at your library, public library. Guess what? A lot of us go to the public library, and those are homeless. They go there, and we use all the same things you do. So if you think you in Beverly Hills or in that apartment, I keep mentioning because I had a follower today, I was kind of shocked. I align with a lot of their values, but the way they were speaking about the coronavirus with the, I'm up here looking down on other people, because I hate to make assumptions, but looking at this person's lifestyle, which can always be completely different than what it looks like, but to own an apartment in New York City or to rent one that's as big as this place and to have all the stuff, you're sitting in the 1% of the 1%. And when you are tweeting out or saying that, oh, you know, people, I just listen to these podcasts and only people that got to worry are people who are sick and old. And I replied to this person, I respect them otherwise. I said, you also need to think about those who are sick and old. They have a right to survive, and it feels good to take care of other people. As long as you're taking care of yourself as well, you know, reach out to people. I bet you'll feel good about it. Now, don't endanger yourself. That's up to any individual to be, I don't want to say a martyr or martyrdom, but to put themselves at the risk for others' well-being. And that's what we have all these doctors and nurses and people that are heroes doing, and firefighters and et cetera, et cetera. You know, I'm fighting the small battles here, trying to put out a message, trying to shed light upon what I see every day, and people that I'm lucky. I'm super fucking lucky that I'm living in certain circumstances that a lot of people are, but I'm not treated as much like a cockroach as some other people. And I'm super aware of this. And some of my friends that I speak to every day and stuff, they're treated like cockroaches to sweep away. And unless we start incorporating the people on the margins in our world and we lift others up, everybody collapses. That's how society goes. And I know it sounds dramatic, but I think this is time for some sort of cultural revolution, hopefully for the United States at least, or others, and we learn, and I hope it's not at the sacrifice of hundreds of thousands to millions of lives. I hope it doesn't take that, because I'm seeing so many shocking things, and all the people that I was claiming that I was alarmist now are asking me for for advice or what they should do for their families and what they should do. And I don't begrudge them of this. It's just, you know, I've lived this 15 years of chronic illness and people looking at me like I'm crazy because during flu season I'm very careful, or if I turn down a yoga class or somebody invites me to a large crowded event and I said, hey, I'll wait till the numbers start going down. This is a severe flu season. I got my flu shot, but you know, I just can't risk it. Oh, and then do I hear from them again? No, they write me off. Instead of considering my circumstances, they go, yeah, no fun, Matheos, Mr. No Fun. I'm a fuck ton of fun. You just got to get to know me, and you got to have consideration for my circumstances as much as I'm going to have consideration for yours. That means respect. That means respect when I've had friends that change their names from one simple name to a wild esoteric name because they had an ayahuasca trip. Do I snarkily not call them their new name? No, they have a reason. I respect it and I call them their new name. I'm using a very mundane example, but this goes down to gluten allergy. This goes down to somebody who's allergic to milk, to somebody who, I'm not talking about those low carbers or people that are eating for fashion. I'm talking about people that eat and have restrictions and have lifestyle changes because they want to preserve their life, not at the risk of fun, but they're trying to have fun, and they don't have the same parameters or risk values that you have, or you have, or you have. Who knows? We're all different. It's about respecting that. So I know I'm coming off pretty intense this video, but a lot's on my mind, and I want to break down and jump over to what I'm using and how I'm doing stuff to kind of try to let go of what I absolutely feel is cortisol problems, and my body is being battered with some subconscious stress from my fears. I'll be honest, I want to keep going. I'm kind of annoyed that right when I'm at the precipice of getting better, this Mother Nature's like, fuck off, man. You thought you were going to get your life back? Guess what? And you know what? It's just my life. Everybody else who's suffering from this stuff, I can pause. I'm gonna let go of that frustration, but it's okay to be frustrated. But you gotta flip that frustration, I think, into action and what you're gonna do. And what I've done is made sure as best I can is have supplies. And I'm gonna say something about supplies. If you're hoarding supplies, if you're ordering a bunch more, think about those who need alcohol wipes that I need to do my injections hygienically. Somebody else who needs life or death injections. My injections aren't life or death. They're like trying to get me better and healthier. But other people's are life and death medical supplies they can't gain access to because a bunch of Americans have gone in and hoarded them up. I don't give a shit about, no pun intended, toilet paper. I don't give two fucks about that. I'm talking about wipes, hand sanitizer that I gotta find out how to make my own because this is the last of it. Speaking of, how do you get your hand sanitizer out when this is all covered in coronavirus or flu virus? Well, you use the wipes to clean the outside of it and then you put it on. Is that OCD? No, it's actually just doing what you're supposed to do. So I'm wearing my mask full time when I go into any public place. Don't give a fuck what people think. And I am washing my hands when I have the opportunity. I am taking my vitamins and doing all my medications and meditating and trying to get my yoga in, using the hand sanitizer. And I came out here, I made some peppermint tea in my car, and I brought out some books, you know, that I want to read some passages myself, and I might read one later. Pieces in every step. I've shown these before, and my favorite of all, the Tao Te Ching. And it's a little bit of a mini version, and I love reading things from there. They're timeless. And I've always carrying around my essential oils, from frankincense right now, which is awfully, somehow got dirty. Just taking a moment to breathe in and take in some of your essential oils, or finding things that bring you joy, to come out and look around at the palm trees or whatever trees are around you, get to the park, watch people playing, and try to forget about, yeah, this is affecting us. It's crimping our style. It's a bitch, son of a bitch, motherfucker, for all the words you could say. This blows. Big fat donkey dicks. Yeah, this is a cursing video, I'm sorry. But I want to reframe as best as I can and try to live my life as uninterrupted as possible. Now, it's gonna be interrupted, there's no question. But I'm gonna do the best I can. I'm bouncing on in about 2 days so I can be out towards a more desolate area for my birthday on March 17th, 45 years old. Woo! And you know, I've got about 80 gloves left for important uses and things of that nature. And if anybody out there has good masks, because I don't always want to wear this big one, or something, I have goggles coming in the mail. But you know, I figure for me, what I'm going to do is isolate myself, which I fucking hate, because all I've wanted is to be around people again, and I love it. Today, I sat in the car of an 89-year-old man from Long Beach, veteran of the Korean War, actor, social worker, amazing individual that plays volleyball almost every day. And we sat in his car. He heard, "Hey, you're the voiceover guy and lives in his car." And I said, "Yeah, that's me." And he came over and he said, he had the CD in his hand, and he said, I want you to listen to something. No one's ever heard this. And it was him telling a story. His name's Big Jack Gilroy. Amazing, beautiful man. And this guy he don't even care about the coronavirus. He's made it this far. I wasn't going to worry him with it, but I sat next to him. He let me listen to this CD, which was beautiful, of him telling a story about the song "Oh Danny Boy." It's an old song. He sang it. It's a beautiful moment. It was a beautiful time. I recorded some of it. I'm hoping to interview him. But it puts into perspective, and he was even saying how many friends he's lost and how he's 1% of 1% to make it not only to 89, but to be active and have his wits about him and feel great. And we were talking about how I was trying to bring home to him, because he was looking at me going, "Man, you're a fit guy. What's up?" And the best way I can bring it home to some people is to tell them about my osteoporosis or osteopenia, and I think I'm osteoporotic in one area or two now, not full osteoporosis. But to tell them about the fractures I have passively. I've broken my foot 3 times, and to tell them, you know, Jack, the reason I'm out here, just giving you one example, is my bone loss isn't crippling me, but it's part of explaining to you that you can't judge a book by its cover. Just like you haven't judged me for living in my car, and you've trusted me with your information, and you haven't looked down upon me, you've looked across at me as an equal and just wanted to know my story. And it's just like these beautiful moments of real people. And when I told him about the bone loss and everything, he was like, "Wow, I didn't know. I wouldn't have guessed." And I wasn't doing it for drama to get sympathy. I just was giving it to telling him why I'm doing my channel. And I wanted to show him the videos, and so that he trusted me with his message and putting him on and telling his story about being an artist and pursuing what he's pursued and how he's in love with his wife still and everything. And, you know, I apologize for this intensity of this video, but I hope you know it comes from my passion, and I'm just a little frustrated with the kind of language I've been hearing from people and the complacency of which I think, and I hope I'm wrong, is going to be a real wake-up call for not only the United States of America, but other countries, but especially, I think, the country that everyone views as having its shit together. The shit's about to hit the fan. It's already hit it. We're just going to smell it soon. And, you know, I know that sounds dark, and I don't mean it to be, but some of these videos are going to be the darker side of things, and some are just going to be real, and that's what I always promised you. I'm not going to feign. I'm super stoked today. I am stoked to be alive. I'm stoked to be healthy, but I'm not stoked on the circumstances going on and what's going on in our country. All right, much love. Please like, please subscribe, and comment. Let's have a dialogue. Let's talk about this.